Hi there YouTube, Extreme Trains here. So in this video we're taking a look at the final of the Greatest Moments 3 packs for the 80th anniversary, at least that we know of at the time of the recording of this video. It is the Nia pack, Classic Nia, which I understand is based on Nia and the Unfriendly episode, which I think is a Bwaba season. Of course it is. It's got Nia in it. We've got some very interesting stuff in here. We've got another one of these brake vans, which I think are going to be very, very popular, as well as one of these cars with the elephant and Nia with some exclusive detailing. But let's find out how much she really is improved over the single pack version, which I've already reviewed on this channel. What are you waiting for? Let's do it. Here is Nia. I know a lot of people don't love Nia, and you know what? Fine, I get it. But I personally think she has a very interesting design, at least, and I quite enjoyed her previous release, even though I didn't think it was perhaps the most clearest upgrade as compared to some of the other engines. In terms of packaging, very, very quickly, it's quite similar. We've got the 80th, we've got the classic Nia thing going on, we've got Thomas pulling the wagon, we've got the little logo here, all that stuff on the back, that on the top with those old CGI renders. There's another one there. And that's what it looks like on the back. All right, let's crack her open. Here is the Greatest Moments Nia pack out of her packaging. We'll pick Nia up first and do a little spin. All right, so as I was saying in the Percy review, they don't change the face for her on this version compared to her original one, which is unfortunate. I mean, I think this is quite a good Nia face. It is missing some of the eyelash detailing, but that's apparently a matter of taste. But it is weird that they didn't even just give her eyes looking a slightly different way. I think mine has been installed slightly crooked. I don't think it's printed crooked. I think the whole thing's crooked, or maybe this eye is a bit crooked. Don't know. We'll see when we do the comparison. Yeah, I think maybe that eye's like a little bit crooked, but you can be the judge of that. And while I've got her here, you can see the only difference in the paint from the front is that Nia has black printed buffers in this version. Which again, I think makes it's amazing how much difference just a very small detail like painted buffers does in terms of really lifting and elevating the model. Or the toy, I should say. But it is funny that that's the only detail she's got, but it also makes sense for the show, given the amount of changes to her. Otherwise, you can see the detailing is all the same. If you want to see a comparison to the old Trackmaster 2 version of her, please check out my previous review of the single pack Nia, where I did that comparison. And you can see that's what she looks like all the way around. I got a much better sticker application on this version than I did on this one. So that is exciting. But yeah, otherwise, Nia, not that much to write home about. I still think it's a pretty nice model. Something about it's very tactile. I think it's all these different textures on it. I quite like feeling it in my hands. It has a good hand feel, this one. But yeah, only a very minor additional detail. And it's certainly a detail that you could add yourself at home if you wanted to, as many people tell me I should. Rolling stock. So we have an elephant here in one of these little, I think they used to be called slate cars, but you know, animal cars are very unrealistic, of course. The elephant does come out. It's just attached by little pins. It does move its head. It kind of wants to sit straight. Oh no, hang on. Yeah, so there's like a clicking point where the head is sideways, but you can move it around side to side. It doesn't go all the way 360, but it does go a decent range. Yeah, not a bad looking elephant. Don't hate it. Don't hate it at all. And this is a very basic car. We've seen this several times before. But again, what is different about it, and I haven't actually got one of these to compare with, unfortunately. It has got the new chassis on the bottom with the smooth wheels, which we are now going to contrast immediately with the brake van, which is, again, the same brake van design that we saw in the Percy kit, or set, I should say, with the key difference being it's got the orange wheels. Now, random, fine, I guess, whatever. And I can show you, we had these kind of what I call the goldy brown wheels on the Percy one. I think this is a much better color for wheels, but this is obviously orange to match Nia, so I can see what they were doing. But again, why does this one have the cogged wheels when this one has the round wheels and they're exactly the same chassis? It's the same chassis piece. It is the same chassis piece, and yet it has two different wheels. Again, was someone at Mattel like, oh, we want it to be like instead of like this. We want to have a bit of sound, but not too much sound. I don't understand. But yeah, give me the smooth wheels. You can do it. You've literally done it in this pack. I don't understand. So that to me is very, very weird. Extremely, extremely weird. But yeah, otherwise, I think of all the packs, I'd say that the Nia rolling stock is probably the least interesting. But I think that's why this set was a great opportunity. I would have been very happy if this was the only set that included the brake van and then we got a second mail coach with Percy. But anyway, I was not successful in my thoughts on that because Mattel didn't ask me before they made this product. So if we couple them together, again, fine looking train. I don't know if the blue really jumps out at me, given it's with the orange. I don't know, something about that color doesn't quite work. And again, just for a more useful comparison, perhaps if we go to Nia, who I have done the coupling replacement on, much, much better. You can see it's amazing that what difference just swapping out the coupling makes in terms of making that a much more cohesive looking train. And then just for one last comparison, let's pull out the other brake van. And you can get a sense of why I think this is a much nicer color. And I don't think it doesn't not match Nia, but I could see what they were going for. So, in a very similar conclusion to what I reached in terms of the single pack Nia, I think this is the one engine of this line which is not a clear upgrade on the previous one, and I think this is the one of greatest moments pack that I don't think you have to go out and buy. If you don't like Nia, don't find it interesting, you don't need to go and buy it. And I guess the upside of them putting the brake van in two different packs is that you could just buy Percy if you really want to get a brake van. That said, I think this is a fine set. I think it is a good set if you're going to include Nia in a set. I think this is how you will do it. And I think it's quite sensible in terms of that decision making. But there are just still those baffling, the more we go through this range, the more baffling some of these design decisions become about things like the mismatching wheels, and the way they make those decisions is still very, very confusing. But otherwise, I think this is a perfectly fine set. If you like it, go and get it. If you don't, you can skip this one. I hope that helped you in your decision-making process, given how hard these engines are to find. I found this in, as I said, this week of August that has just passed, when you will see this video going out in Big W, Sydney, Australia, in southern Sydney more specifically. But I wish you all good luck in trying to find these wherever you live. So, thanks very much for watching. That's all we have time for. This is Extreme Trains.